Hello, this is Jake and welcome to an update on my Hamburg Tender. This is a Krick RC boat kit. There'll be a link in the description where you can buy yours, and I will talk you through all the stuff I've done to my Hamburg Tender and future plans with it and some other bits that need doing and everything like that. So if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and let's jump into it. So, well, first of all, here it is, all painted up. I think this is the first time you've actually seen it all painted up. Now, I do have some footage of this in the water and everything, and what I'll do is put a clip in this video near the end if you want to see that, and I'll also put them up as separate videos as well so you can watch. But yeah, I've really enjoyed building this kit. It took me a couple of months. I've been on and off it. I had a good couple of days, you know, working on it, getting stuff sorted and everything, which was great. Then I got to the point of painting and everything. To be honest, I haven't touched it for quite a while now, since before Christmas, and that's because, you know, the weather is not great, so there's no point going to the ponds and everything. There's a few other little things I want to get done on it, of course, like adding lights. I still got to add the windows as well, of course, here the actual glass inside. Which I'm going to be doing very soon. But I thought I'd put out the battery, so I'm using one of these Nymph Vortex batteries. There you go. Using one of them. That's a 3000, and I haven't. Every time I've been out with this boat, I've not run out of charge at all, and I've been out for a good 45 minutes running it. I think it was over an hour one day, so it's a small motor anyway, so it's not gonna be, you know, it's not like an RC car where it's constantly going and everything. I'm just cruising with it, to be honest, just taking my time. People love seeing it out there on the ponds as well. I got several pictures I'll be putting up as well in the video of it running, but I've really enjoyed building it. So I went with, we got the black, the name Annie's. Now, bit of a story with the name. Unfortunately, I go on eBay and buy decals, and the decal I wanted for this one was the name of the boat is Felix. I sent that off to be printed so I could have a nice decal to go on the side, as you see here, and it come back with Annie's, which is not the name I asked for. However, I think it suits it and it makes it a little bit different, makes it my own. So I ended up using that name. I think it works, you know, it doesn't really bother me. It's not called Felix, but there it is. That's the name of it now. So we got the gloss black, the white, thin white line, which was very interesting to do. I've never actually done one of these lines before, and it worked out really well. And then we got the red underneath, which is actually just red car primer for bumpers and that, and it worked out. It worked really well. So I've added the details like the small mast here with the lights on and everything, the spotlight on front, the horn, a couple of these. Have I got a spare? I did have a spare one here somewhere, but a couple of the lifeguard things, a bit of rope on the front behind the transmitter there, just to add a little bit of detail. And then we got the front mast here. I still got to add the rigging, of course, to that, and then the flag that's going to go on here. I'm still going to do that. That's one of the little jobs I need to get done. One of the other jobs I want to get done to is add in lights, so these will actually work. They're stuck down at the moment, but they'll just pop off quite easy. And what I'll do, put some wire into them, we'll get them working. Same for the spotlight. However, I'm not too bothered at the moment, just because I'm very rarely going to use it in the night time anyway. And I got to add the green and red to either side, which I still got to do. And of course, the main thing is people. I want to populate this boat, so what we're going to do is have a couple of G scale figures, which is 1/24th, which is roughly the right scale of this model. The steps come off. I got to glue them again. They did. There we go. So I'll have a couple of figures in here and everything. Should be pretty fine. That shouldn't be an issue. Then apart from that, that's going to be pretty much it. A couple of modifications I did do was like add the deck and add some paneling around the seats and everything. which was, you know, that was easy enough to do, and it does help with the detail of the model. When I do put the windows in here, I'm not going to black them out, but I might try and put some kind of interior in that just to help it blend a little bit more, make it look a little bit better when you take photos. In the back here we got a servo and everything. I'm using this transmitter at the moment. This is a multi-channel one, a Futaba. I bought this, well, technically my brother bought it for his RC truck, and because his truck's not finished yet, it was lying in the shed and I thought I'd use it for now. But what I will end up doing is buying something similar where I can have a couple of boats linked into the control panel so I can go between them. But you know, it does the job at the moment. It's not the best in the world. I mean, it's a bit overkill. It's a bit too much for this, to be honest, with all the switches and that, because all I'm using is forward, backward, left and right for steering. So for the rudder. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is just take the top off here. There we go. Move that to one side and you can just see. Let me move that one as well so we don't damage it. Put it on there. Okay, so we have our ESC right here, a waterproof ESC. You link the battery up to that, and then the wires go through. I put the switch on here temporarily. I'll probably end up putting an O on the side here so it can go on and off, and it will bolt in from the other side of that, so it's hidden. The motor's still on display. I've only left this bit on display at the time being just for testing, make sure everything was working fine. That can actually be covered up now, that's not a problem. I forget the name. Our receiver's here. Again, perfect place to pull it because it's going to be changed over. It's not the transmitter I'm going to be using for this one eventually. So the receiver will be moved behind here where the battery goes. What I'll probably do is just stick it to the side. It doesn't weigh too much, so we don't have to worry about losing the buoyancy or anything. This is left open here, so I can always gain access to this part here, what connects the motor to the shaft down to the prop. So if that ever goes wrong, I can gain access to it. I can remove the motor, and I can actually remove the rudder as well, which is accessed underneath this part here, which we'll take a look at now. Let me just move that one out of the way, we've got a bit of a shadow going on. If I can open it. There we go. So I don't know how well you're going to see this, but there is a micro servo in there. Now they do in the manual tell you to use a pretty big servo, a standard car steering servo as you would have on one of your Tamiya cars. But I had a micro one lying around at the time. I thought I'd try it, and it's plenty powerful enough to do the rudder. Don't need anything more than that. So that's all linked up, does the job. There's a bit of weight in here out of a 00 gauge HST, Hornby HST. Reason for that is, when it was in the water first test, the back end seemed a little bit too high above the water, and it looked a little bit odd. So I knew I had some of these weights lying around because I've done some repairs on some model trains. In fact, we have a spare one here which I can always use on something else. And I just stuck it in there with some hot glue, and it's perfect. It looks great across the water. So that works out really well. Now there is, let me just move it back across, battery here linked up to some wiring. That's still got to be sorted out. This piece will come off just to do some testing, but that battery is to power the lights, and that goes around to the other side here. And there's actually, I don't know if you'll see it, there's a chop block here, and then that'll link up to the lights, and that's all you need for the lights. I could wire them into the receiver so you can turn them off with a switch, something maybe I'll look at doing. You can see the wooden planking here. Wooden planking looks good. Then underneath the actual seats look pretty good as well. The steps and everything, yep, it's all good. I mean, it does what it should do. So I think next, like I said, I'm going to add some figures just to populate it. We can put that one back on now, like so. It doesn't sit 100% flush, but it's okay. And the entire top half, all of this, has been covered in a varnish, so if there's any water damage, and then a couple of coats of the paint on top, and there's not too much of a gloss look on it now, so that's great. But I think what we'll do is get the figures all on everything, get that all sorted. Here's the top half just so you can see the wheel in there. I will hand paint all of this framework and everything. It was just sprayed in one colour whilst I was spraying the sides, but that will all be done at a later date as well. And the green was just a green I had left over off a model car I had built. It's British Racing Green, and I thought I'd try it, and it works really well. So when you actually put this top piece on, it does go on quite nicely. There we go. It actually suits it pretty nicely. I'm really pleased with how this colour works well with the white and the brown. Wow, there you have it. That's pretty much everything to show you on this model. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have really enjoyed building this, and when I done the announcement that I was going to do RC boats, I don't know why it took me so long, because I've always been into boats and ships and everything like that, and this does sit properly on there. I've just not pushed it down properly. But when I made a decision I was going to start doing RC boats, I picked this one up. I paid something like £116. There'll be a link in the description where you can buy yours, and I was really happy with it. I was a little bit I was going to say scared. It's not scared. It's a little bit that you got to cut the hull and make sure the measurements were right. It's a little bit scary because I've never done anything like that, and I didn't want to cut it wrong, and then, you know, you got a giant hole here and it's too low. But I took my time with it, made sure, double checked all the measurements, everything like that, and there you go. That's what you end up with. I'm just so happy with it. One thing I didn't mention is I also covered the sides off here to make it look more flat and more realistic. Again, looks good. We need to get those figures in. I do have a couple of the G-scale figures anyway, like these, but these are for railway. I need sitting ones and everything, and we need a captain. So yeah, there we go. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you very, very soon with some videos of this running. Bye for now.